Jack and Tu Tien had gone through numerous challenges in their journey to find family. The hardships not only tested their love, but also strengthened their bond like never before. After all they had been through, Jack decided it was time to discuss the wedding with his mother. A simple yet meaningful ceremony. Jack discusses with his mother. One afternoon, as the golden sunlight gently bathed the village roads, Jack decided to sit down and talk to his mother. In the cozy atmosphere of the small house where Jack grew up, he began the important conversation. "Mom, I've thought about this for a long time. I want to marry Tu Tien," Jack said, his eyes lighting up as he mentioned the woman he loved. "She's the one I want to spend my life caring for and loving." Jack's mother, Mrs. Mai, felt a surge of emotion upon hearing this. She had always been fond of Tu Tien, the kind-hearted, gentle girl who treated everyone around her with respect. For a long time, Mrs. Mai had sensed the deep love Tu Tien had for her son. "I understand. And I'm so happy that you found someone as special as Tu Tien," Mrs. Mai said softly. "But have you thought about the wedding preparations? It's not just a big event for you and Tu Tien, but for both families as well." Jack nodded, determination in his eyes. "I want a simple wedding, nothing too extravagant. I just want to spend the rest of my days with Tu and you, living peacefully. After everything that's happened, the wedding doesn't need to be fancy. Just having our loved ones there will be enough." Mrs. Mai smiled gently. "You're right. True happiness doesn't come from extravagance, but from love and sincerity. I'll help you with the preparations. But you should also sit down with Tu Tien and plan things together. It's both of your wedding after all." Jack talks to Tu Tien after discussing with his mother. Jack went to find Tu Tien and to talk about the wedding details. He knew that Tu Tien always preferred things to be simple and lighthearted, but since this was such a significant event, they both needed to make decisions together. One afternoon at the farm, Jack and Tu Tien sat under the shade of an old tree, with sunlight filtering gently through the leaves, creating a peaceful ambience. Jack took Tu Tien's hand, his eyes filled with love. "I talked to my mom about our wedding." Jack began, his voice calm but filled with determination. "I want us to prepare everything together. I know neither of us wants a big wedding, but I still want the day to be special and meaningful." Tu Tien smiled at Jack, her heart overflowing with happiness. The wedding wasn't the most important thing to her, but the fact that Jack wanted to involve her in every step of the process made her feel cherished and loved. "I've thought about it too," Tu Tien replied. "We don't need too much. Just having our loved ones there is enough. But I would love for us to have the wedding in a place that's meaningful to both of us. Maybe right here at the farm. This place has witnessed so many special moments between us." Jack nodded in agreement. He knew that Tu Tien had always loved being close to nature, and the farm was truly the place where they had shared many beautiful memories. "That's a great idea. I also want us to have the wedding here. Something simple surrounded by nature." Wedding preparations. After agreeing with Tu Tien on having the wedding at the farm, the two of them began working on the details. Jack wanted the wedding to have a peaceful, natural vibe without too many decorations. There would be no extravagant flower arrangements or complicated rituals, just a warm, intimate space where friends and family could share in their joy. Jack and Tu Tien decided to hire some gardeners to decorate the wedding area with wild flowers, which was simple yet beautiful. Soft, white ribbons would be draped over the tree branches, and a simple flower arch would be set up at the farm's entrance. No need for too many extras. The natural beauty of the farm was already enough to create a dreamy atmosphere. Tu Tien wanted to make some of the decorations herself. So she and Jack spent a few afternoons making small flower vases out of recycled glass bottles and cutting colorful paper to make handmade invitations. They laughed and chatted throughout the process, and their bond only grew stronger through these simple, yet meaningful moments. For the reception, Jack made sure to consult with his mother about the menu. He knew that Tu Tien loved simple, hearty dishes from her hometown. Mrs. Mai, along with some close family friends, offered to help cook traditional meals at home, making the wedding feel like a warm, intimate family gathering. Choosing outfits for the special day. As for their attire, Jack and Tu Tien both wanted something light and fitting for the farm's natural surroundings. Tu Tien didn't like extravagant wedding dresses, so she chose a simple white gown with soft, flowing fabric. It was understated but elegant. Jack opted for a beige suit, simple yet tasteful. They decided not to have a large bridal party, just a few close friends to stand by their side and share in their joy. Tu Tien picked small bouquets made from local wildflowers for her friends, reflecting her love of nature, mentally preparing for the wedding day. Despite the busy preparations, both Jack and Tu Tien felt happy and excited. Their wedding wasn't just a day to celebrate their love, but a moment to reflect on everything they had been through together. All the hardships and challenges now seemed like distant memories, and they both knew there would be more obstacles ahead. But what mattered most was that they had each other. In the days leading up to the wedding, Jack and Tu Tien would sit together and admire the farm, beautifully decorated for the occasion. They felt at peace knowing everything was unfolding just as they had envisioned. Simple, serene, and full of love, Jack gently held Tu Tien's hand and told her that he couldn't wait to finally call her his wife. Tu Tien smiled, her eyes filled with happiness. "I can't wait either. This will be the most beautiful moment of our lives." And so they readied themselves for that special day, where their love would be blessed in the presence of their loved ones, amidst the peaceful and natural surroundings of the farm. After Mr. Thursday was arrested and sentenced to prison, Jack and Tu Tien temporarily felt a sense of relief, thinking they could now focus on preparing for their wedding. However, despite Mr. Thursday being out of the picture, Tone and John, though not directly involved with him, still posed potential threats to their happiness. Hashtag Tone schemes. Tone, a man with big ambitions and unresolved feelings for Tu Tien, had never truly accepted that she chose Jack. His unrequited love fueled a hidden desire to sabotage their relationship. Though Tone had no ties to Mr. Thursday's previous plans, he created his own schemes to ruin Jack and Tu Tien's wedding. Tone believed that if he could find a way to expose any weakness in their relationship, he might still convince Tu Tien to reconsider her decision. Hashtag John's jealousy. John, Jack's former assistant, hadn't given up on her hopes of winning Jack over. Despite Jack never having feelings for her, John harbored the belief that he would eventually recognize her love. While John had no involvement with Mr. Thursday, she silently seethed with jealousy toward Tut, refusing to accept that Jack had chosen her as his lifelong partner. Determined to break them apart, John began plotting ways to create friction between Jack and Tu Tien, perhaps even attempting to sabotage their wedding day. Hashtag unfortunate incidents. As the wedding date approached, a series of unfortunate incidents began to occur. First, anonymous calls started coming in during late hours, disrupting their sleep and causing anxiety. Rumors began circulating among friends and colleagues about supposed conflicts between Jack and Tu Tien. Rumors that were baseless but clearly designed to tarnish their reputations. One day, while trying on her wedding dress, Tu Tien received an anonymous letter, filled with threats about her and Jack's future happiness. Both Jack and Tu Tien began to worrying that someone was deliberately trying to ruin their wedding, though they couldn't quite pinpoint who was behind it. Jack suspected Tone, who still hadn't given up on pursuing Tu Tien, and also had growing doubts about John, who had been acting suspiciously lately. Determination to overcome the challenges. Despite facing these unexpected obstacles, Jack and Tu Tien were resolute in not letting these issues interfere with their special day. They believed that no matter what challenges came their way, their love had been forged through numerous trials, and they were determined not to let anything or anyone break that bond. "We've been through too much to let this stop us now," Jack reassured Tut. "Nothing is going to ruin this." Tu Tien, despite the pressure from the incidents, agreed that nothing could change the love she and Jack shared. The couple began taking extra precautions to ensure the wedding proceeded smoothly, carefully selecting the venue and making sure only close trusted friends and family were informed of the wedding specific details. Jack and Tu Tien's future. With their love and support for one another, Jack and Tu Tien believed they could get through any hardship. While the wedding may have a few hiccups, they understood that the most important thing was their genuine love and mutual commitment. They were ready for a promising future, fully aware that the road ahead might still hold some bumps. After the wedding, Jack planned to take Tu Tien on a honeymoon to a distant location, where they could forget the stress and create new memories together. Tu Tien also looked forward to building a peaceful home with Jack, a place where they could feel safe and happy. Despite any external threats, the future for Jack and Tu Tien wouldn't just be a peaceful life, but also an adventure. One where they would continue facing external challenges, but with the belief that their love and unity would help them overcome everything.